Hey, come here. You like vintage? You like antiques? You want to see something so rare I promise you've never seen it before in your life? Then stick around for today's show and tell. This is Laugh Cry DIY. I am Katie, and on this channel, we love DIY and home decor, and we love the charm that only vintage and antique items can really give us. And so, while my back recovers from a recent home makeover, I thought it would be fun to do a cool little show and tell walkthrough of the coolest thrifted and antique finds I've gotten in the last year, or some of the specialist pieces I have in my collection that you guys have never seen. These are incredible thrift scores, Facebook Marketplace finds, and the rare antiques I've scoured the internet for. And I can guarantee you have never seen some of these items in your life. Are you ready? Okay, let's start with number one, which is this incredible Art Deco tea set, which, guys, is the single best thrift score of my life. This is an incredible set for so many reasons. It's a really interesting color palette with this orange, this black. It is a Victoria, Czechoslovakia original set. I can tell by the logo mark that this was made between 1900 and 1930. And it's especially beautiful because it has this iridescent lusterware on the top, which at the time was a really fun, cool new technology. So they were adding this lusterware to a lot of different objects. It's clearly Art Deco because of its really outrageous, like, geometric shape. And I first saw one of these examples in the Museum of Decorative Arts in Paris. I thought it was incredible. I thought they were so unique. I mean, look at the shape of this teapot. It's like it's practically like Aladdin's lamp, but super geometric. It's so unique. And I will tell you the origin story of how I got this, guys. I was out in Joshua Tree, California, out in the California desert. I walked into the tiniest little thrift store. This was sitting in the glass case, and I just instantly got like whiplash the minute I saw it. I had a feeling that this was an original Art Deco piece. I asked them to take it out of the case. I checked the mark, and I instantly pulled out my wallet. And do you guys know how much this was for this beautiful, impeccable, three-piece Art Deco tea set? $25. I know, I hate me too, trust me, but it is absolutely the most incredible thrift find that I've ever had in my life. So I thought I'd start out with the big guns in this show and tell, but I think you guys can also all appreciate why this is such an incredible, beautiful little piece. And now let's continue our colorful glassware tour with this pair of blue-purple iridescent Carnival glass taper candle holders. This is vintage Indiana glass. It features this beautiful blue and purple iridescence. They have this gorgeous scalloping on the top, gorgeous grape leaf vine motif. And between the color and the silhouette and the harvest pattern, they are so witchy and cool. I just had to swoop them up. And there's something kind of sneaky about them too, because you can use them as a standard taper candle holder, or you can flip them and use them as a pillar candle holder or a little pedestal. I got these last month in a thrift store for, I think, $6, and it was like such an amazing steal. And a fun little history lesson for you if you don't know about this type of glass. This is Depression glass, manufactured often in the Depression era, because they had invented cheaper glass manufacturing processes, so they were able to mass produce this glass and kind of make it a fun novelty. This particular style, which of course features that beautiful iridescence, is called Carnival glass because it was often given away as carnival prizes, and obviously that beautiful iridescence would catch your eye and make you want to buy it. It often came in large sets that maybe a newlywed woman might try to collect and send in her box tops for. So it was massively produced, but it's very collectible because of its color and all the different things they made out of it. Also, one of the telltale signs of a piece of vintage glass like this is this really thick seam along the side. Because they were mass manufacturing this glass, they would throw it into the molds and they would clamp it together kind of unceremoniously, and so it would sometimes get that thick ridge. So maybe that's some helpful information if you're out thrifting and want to be able to kind of date a piece or know what type of style of glass it is. But I'm so happy to add these to my collection, and I hope that you guys enjoy them too. Is that the thumbnail? Okay, moving on to more vintage dishware. This is a pair of 60s plates I recently scored at a vintage shop in Palm Springs, and I love them so much. You can see they have this great yellow and orange floral pattern on them. It's such a groovy print. These are actually the Centura collection by Corning. I actually did a vintage shopping video where I scored these. I will link that below if you want to see me shop around Palm Springs. But these are extra special to me because I actually thrifted this very set like 15 years ago. And over the years, it broke and broke and broke. And I think I was using it as like a little plant pot plate, but I found these in the thrift store in Palm Springs, and I was so happy to be able to buy the full set back, and it felt like such a gift from the thrift gods. So these little tiny plates are one of my treasured possessions because they have been in and out of my life, I guess, for 15 plus years. Love ya. Is that the thumbnail? Let's move on. So, if you haven't watched the channel before, I am a big maximalist. I love Hollywood Regency, and therefore I am always gonna be a sucker for any sort of ceramic statue, especially something like this beautiful little panther, jaguar, something. I have been wanting a really cool cat statue for a long time, and I stumbled upon this in a thrift store. I think it was like $12. It's almost as heavy as a doorstop, which makes me think that it may have been intended to be so, but I love the shape. I love the repose. She's obviously kind of yellowed over the years, and I am considering making her over. Do you guys think I should make her over? Please comment below. But I think it is her destiny to like sit on a mantle or in front of a fireplace or something like that. So I'm hoping I can make that happen for her. But in the meantime, I think she's so lovely. She's also the perfect shape because she's not like massive and she's not too small. I'm also very glad that I did buy her because I actually walked around the store like 4 or 5 times debating it. But for $12, I mean, come on, she's gotta come home with you. And I'm so glad she did. But I'm happy to say she is not the only animal who lives in my house. Hold please. This is my real little panther baguette. Wanna say hi? Okay, that's fair. No, let me get the real one, hold on. Oh, you're still here? Oh. Guys, this is Camellia. You may have seen her in my bathroom makeover, which I will link below and you should definitely watch. She is the love of my life. She is a Hollywood Regency ceramic camel plant stand. She has so much detail. She is really sizable. And as you can see, I mean, she has tassels. She has a saddle, fringe, she has a hat. I talked about this in my bathroom makeover, but I saw her at a vintage store, fell in love immediately, rushed over, it was gone. And any other version of it I could find, which was very rare, was like $1,500. And then miraculously, she popped up on Facebook Marketplace. And honestly, I think she was $180. And that is a lot, but she is one of my like most desired, coveted items of all time. And she brings me so much joy. And honestly, this is not her first, second, or last appearance on the channel, I'm sure, because she is just so, so beautiful. Did you hear that? Okay, you can go. Next up, let's talk about another antique object that I have given new life to in the form of this beautiful little lamp, which features an antique Art Deco lampshade that I thrifted for $1. I know. This lampshade also features this beautiful geometric shape. It also has this rainbow iridescence luster wear technique. I decided to turn it into a lamp by adding a base and this little top. And if you add a wireless bulb, you can make it any color you want. Definitely watch that episode. I think this is a project anybody can do. You can source these antique lampshades for pretty inexpensively. And this is one of my favorite projects because I took what was really just a lone orphan piece on the shelf and made it something cute and functional. And I know that there are so many lonely glass shades in the world waiting for somebody to do the same. So this is absolutely the cheapest score I've ever got for $1. But now she looks like $1,000,000. All right, bye. And now we are entering our pyro era because I like to collect vintage, antique lighters, matches, and kind of accoutrement, even though I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. But I did want to show you some prize pieces from that collection. Starting with this huge, massive, gigantic little ladies lighter. Oh wait, you can't see it anyway. This is an Art Deco era ladies lighter. It features this classic diving girl motif engraved on the front. It's called a ladies lighter because it is so petite. It was meant to fit in a little handbag. And these are cool because these are actually called striker lighters, which was a different style of lighter than what we use today. So as you can see, it features this little flint on the side and this little pull-out piece, which has a little cotton wick. These are called strikers because they were meant to be struck like a match. They went out of style, and I'll show you why. First of all, the flints almost never work. And when they do, look how big the flame is on this tiny, tiny little thing. Oh my gosh. So you can see why they went out of favor, but they're very cool. I got this one on eBay and I actually had it restored by my guy Russ, out in Michigan who restores vintage lighters. It is incredibly impractical, but I think it is such a cool little piece of history. So, striker lighters, get into them. Next up, we are moving backwards in time from an Art Deco lighter to a early 1900s little matchbox. This is a carved wood matchbox. Things that are in this style are called treen, as though they are from a tree. This is from Germany. It features a beautiful little edelweiss. And treen is special because treen items are known for being little puzzles. And the way this works is, this top part slides out to reveal the little striker pad. And then the bottom part, you pull it down and slide it out to reveal the little matches inside. These little treen items are really cool. There's a lot of funky little boxes and things that feature that kind of puzzly design. And I think what's so cool is that the mechanics of this whole piece are all wood, and actually it even features a little tiny wood joint, screw, whatever. I think it's such a sweet little piece. I love that it has its kind of secret storage compartment. And fun fact, I know this was probably late 1800s, early 1900s, because it does feature a striker pad, which original matches did not require. They could be struck anywhere. And that is today's lesson about treen objects and little match holders. It smells nice too, kind of grandpa cigar-y. But this is basically modern technology. Let's go back even further with the most gorgeous matchbox I own, which is this beautiful little piece of Wedgwood pottery that is also a matchbox. This is a classic piece of Wedgwood pottery. It features that gorgeous kind of Grecian relief design. And this matchbox is very special and unique for a few reasons. Number one, as I mentioned, the first batch of matches invented didn't require striker pads. You could kind of strike them on anything. You just needed a little friction. So this matchbox does feature a little striker pad. You can really see where it was hand etched in by the potter. And I like that you can just see that little handmade touch. Secondly, I know that this was made in 1867 by a potter with the initials AF. And that is because, this is hard to see, but there is a Wedgwood stamp on the back, and you can date the piece by the font used in that logo. So I know it was the 1800s. Additionally, they had this interesting, complicated code corresponding to letters that told you what year it was. So this has a V on it, and you can see that that is the 1867 mark. Right next to it is an A and an F, and that is the potter's initials. And I do not know their name, I do not know who they were, but I'm gonna say it was Albert Frankenfurt. But none of that is actually why I bought the piece. This is actually an incredibly rare example of something called a go-to-bed match, because you can see there are two tiny little holes here on the top. And why would those be there? That would be because this was meant for you to strike the match and then place it in those little holes and walk yourself to bed with this. Because before you went to bed, back in that era, you would need to walk around the room and extinguish all candles or oil burning lamps, and you needed a little bit of light to do that by. So for a brief time in history, really a few decades, they made these little go-to-bed match holders with these little holes on top. They're very rare, they can often be quite pricey, but I think I paid like $50 for this. This was a bit of a find. And I love that it is just a little token of human history in the time between using candles and getting electricity. But she is not even the rarest thing I own. And now folks, at long last, you are ready to see something that I guarantee you have never seen in your damn life. And it is this. Are you ready? It is a totally unremarkable, peculiar little object. I will show you here. It is basically a tiny briefcase. You can see it has a back that also features beautiful embossed leather. And you will notice it does feature a little striker pad and a little space to hold your matches. But it is not actually a little matchbox. Instead, it is a brilliant piece of technology that I promise you, you will be shocked by. This is how it works. Are you ready? There's a little clasp. The door pops open. Ooh. And what is inside that pops out? A little lantern box. This is a Victorian era traveling little lantern, AKA a pocket flashlight. It has its original glass, it has a slight little crack, but originally it would have had a little candle holder right on the inside, and you would have lit a tiny little candle by your bedside when you were traveling. Maybe you were a traveling salesman, maybe you were an orphan going to live in a grand estate. Either way, these were these tiny, tiny little pocket lanterns that one would carry in the Victorian era. Now, I do believe this is probably from the 1890s because the only other versions of these I've seen are novelty little items that are marked from the, I believe, 1890 World Fair that they gave away as little like tourist souvenirs. But these are incredibly rare. I think this was like $70. I saw it pop up on eBay and I was just delighted by how cute and darling and magical it is. And I will say that in the dark, I'm shocked by how much light the little tiny candle can throw off. Also, I just love that its little leather embossing remains. It also smells like an old rich leather, but it is just such an object of peculiarity and beauty. And I feel grateful to own one because, again, they're pretty rare. They're even hard to find online. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little masterpiece of magic, as well as my little tour through all of my fun little goodies today. And the truth is, I do a lot of thrifting and antique shopping, but I actually almost never buy. I really try to just buy objects that are rare or unusual or that really speak to me. But I'm glad I get to share them with you, and I think you guys will hopefully be as enthusiastic about them as I was. So I also love to hear about your guys' scores, so please comment below if you have an amazing score of a lifetime that you've gotten at a thrift store or an antique shop or inherited. I just love to hear about other people's treasures. And I will be back with more DIYs and decor after my back recovers, but in the meantime, feel free to watch the videos I linked below. And until next time, I'm just gonna go sit in the dark with my little pocket lantern. Bye guys.